everyone, it's Teacher Bernadett and welcome back to another morning ring. So who can tell me what day it is today? Thursday. So today is Thursday, which means that tomorrow will be Friday. And what day comes after Friday? Saturday. Very good. Now, can you remember how many days there are in a week? There are 7 days in a week. And if there are 7 days in the week, can you remember the names of all 7 days of the week? Let's find out. What is the name of the first day of the week? Monday. And the name of the second day of the week? Tuesday. What is the name of the fourth day of the week? Thursday. And what about the 6th day of the week? Saturday. And the 7th day of the week? Sunday. Now what is missing? The 3rd day of the week. And the 3rd day of the week is Wednesday. And the last one we missed is Friday, the 5th day of the week. So let's just do that so we know that that is how many days there are in a week. Now, if today is Thursday, what number day are we on? Number 4. So this is today. Today is the 4th day of the week of the 5th month. That means that today it's Thursday and that we are in the month of May. So can you remember, now that we've done the days of the week all funky wonky, can you remember the names of the months of the year? Let's find out. Let's sing our song. We haven't done that since Monday, I think. Okay, 1, 2, 3. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Very good. Now, can you remember what else we're doing this week? It's a little bit tricky, a little bit difficult, but great to train your brain. Syllables. So how many sound parts does a word have? So let's think of 5 new words that we haven't done yet. Let's go with box. Box is a nice word. Box is a short word. So how many syllables do you think this short word is going to have? Come on, let's say it. Box. Can you say box? No. We just say box. Easy. What about glasses? Glasses. 2 sounds. 1 word, 2 sounds. Let's see, what's another one? Ocean. Seeing as we're learning about oceans this week. Ocean. Again, 2 sounds. What about, seeing as it's getting a little bit cold, we all start wearing jerseys. So jersey. Jersey. Again, 1 word but 2 sounds. So we've done box, glasses, ocean, and jersey. So let's think of 1 more. What about wall? Again, wall is a short word, a quick word, it sounds quick. So how many sounds do you think the word wall has? 1. Wall. We don't say wall. Nah, it's too long. We just say wall. Done. Easy. Again. So I hope that you find 5 more words today where you can test out how many sounds the word has and see how many syllables you think the word has. So let's move on to our theme for the week. Again, laptop is still iPad's still a little bit broken, so I can't show you pictures, but we are talking about the deep sea today. Now the deep sea, some people don't always like talking about deep sea because, one, they don't really know what is in the deep sea, because the sea is so deep that most of the deep sea we haven't actually seen yet as humans. But two, some of the creatures in the deep sea are pretty scary looking. Some of them are just plain weird looking, honestly. But that is what makes them so cool. So some of the fish are actually glow-in-the-dark fish. If you've ever watched Finding Nemo, you'll know the fish with the little ball of light on in the front of his head. Some of the fish look like skeletons. Some of them are so dark that they actually look as black as the water under the sea, which is also very cool. Some are so small that you can't even see them. Some are so big that you don't know they're there until they just blink their eye or open their mouth a little bit. That's how big they are. How scary is that? Super scary. So, if you want to find out a little bit more about the deep sea, I suggest going onto the internet and looking for creatures of the deep sea. Some of them are going to be very scary, so if you are scared, you know, ask mommy or daddy or whoever's living with you to help you look for these pictures. And see, maybe you can even try and draw some of the creatures that you either see on the internet or creatures that you think we can find in the deep sea from your own imagination. Remember, when we draw from imagination, they don't have to be real. Which is so great, which is what is so great about drawing. So I'd like to see what deep sea creatures you can draw from your imagination as well as from pictures. So let me know. And I hope you all had fun with this morning ring and learned a little bit more about the deep sea and how little we know about it, but that what we do know is kind of scary. And I can't wait to see you for some more activities. Bye guys! Hi everyone, it's Teacher Bernadett again, and welcome to today's activity. So for today's activity we are going to do two things. One of the things we've had all week that you could have started on, but I'm going to show you today. If you have started on it, that would be great, obviously. If you haven't, it's okay. So I'm just going to lower the camera a little bit so we can see. Okay, so the first activity that we have is our Play-Doh mats. Now last week we started off with Play-Doh mats, looking at the different numbers 0 to 10 that we can make with Play-Doh, as well as make balls to show how many the number is. But for today, what I want us to start doing is to see if we can use Play-Doh to complete the image or finish a picture in our heads. So it's going to ask you to make the octopus, but it only gave you the head. So now you have to think, use your brain and decide what you think is missing and what needs to still be added to the picture to make it look like the picture in the corner. So there are quite a few Play-Doh mats. One is an octopus, one is seaweed, this one is a shark and a crab, and we have a starfish and a normal fish for that one. Make the starfish in the open one. You can even make any sea creature you can think of. You can try and make a seahorse, a sea cucumber, you can make... what else is there? A whale. You can make anything your heart desires that you can find in the ocean. So you can make different kinds of coral and different anything. You can even make a plankton to see if you can figure that out. Then our next activity is called Find Color and Count. So this activity, it looks a little bit like a mess. Quite a big mess. But what you have to do is focus on one picture at a time. So if we take the first fish, and I'm gonna choose to make it like a golden yellow. So you color in your fish at the top row first. Okay, and now what you're going to do is you're going to go through the big picture and see all the big puffer fish that you can find and color them in. So there's one so far, there's another one, there's a small one hiding. So when you are trying to find the pictures of all the fish you need to color in, make sure that you look for even small pictures, because sometimes it's a big fish, but they make it tiny so that you don't miss it. So it's to trick you, but to also train your eyes to see what you need to see instead of just seeing everything. Okay, and there's one more over here. Okay, so when you've colored in all the fish, you'll see they stand out. That's why it's nice to pick one color for one fish, and then you count. So you count the fish in the picture. So let's count together. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So then when you have your 6, you can take the same color you colored in with and draw a 6 next to the fish in the top row. And there you have it. But always make sure that you didn't miss any of the fish, and then you move on to the next fish. So there are 4 fish to choose from. There's a pufferfish, a shark, an octopus, and a normal fish that you can give your own name. An interesting name, a funny name, a funky name, a beautiful name. Any name you want to give this fish you can do. But yes, that is our activities for the day. And I hope you have fun with them, and I can't wait to see you for our art activity. Bye everyone! Hi everyone, it's Teacher Bernadette again, and welcome to our Thursday art activity. So for today's art activity, what we're going to do is we're going to make a big fish. Now you can choose 2 different options. I'm going to only show one. But the first step is the only step that's going to be different. So what you're going to need for your big fish is either 2 paper plates, if you have paper plates. If you don't have paper plates, you can draw out your own fish on a big A4 piece of paper, so a normal scrap piece of paper, and draw out your fish and cut it, and then you can continue the same steps, but just painting your own fish that you drew instead of the paper plate that we're then going to cut one of the other paper plates and make a tail and some fins as well. So what you're also going to need is obviously some scissors and a pencil if you want, but also some paint. So let's get started. And there you go, an easy fish, an easy big fish that you can now use for your own puppet show, or even just to hang on your wall. So I can't wait to see what fish you all created. Okay, bye guys. Hi everyone, it's Teacher Bernadette and welcome back to another story time. So today we are reading Never Follow a Dinosaur by Alex Latimer. Let's get started. One afternoon, Joe and his sister, Sally, spotted a strange set of footprints. "Who do you think made these?" asked Sally. Joe took a closer look. By the size and shape, I think they must certainly have been made by a dinosaur." They followed the footprints right up to Willowby's bowl. It was empty. "It must be a very hungry dinosaur," said Sally. "It has eaten all of Willowby's food." Willowby's food, not Willowbilly. They followed the footprints into the garden. "Look how deep the footprints are here," said Joe. "It must be a very heavy, hungry dinosaur to have made such deep footprints." The footprints carried on right through Dad's fish pond. "It seems to like water," said Sally. "So it's a heavy, hungry, swimming dinosaur." A little further on, the footprints went all squiggly and overlapping. "What happened here?" asked Joe. "Probably some sort of dance," said Sally. "I'd say it's a heavy, hungry, swimming, dancing dinosaur." "What are all these leaves doing here?" asked Sally. "The dinosaur probably bumped its head on that branch," said Joe. "So it's a hungry, heavy, swimming, dancing dinosaur with a headache." "And look, there are only right footprints over here," said Sally. "It must have hurt its left foot on this rock and hopped about in pain," said Joe. "So it's a hungry, heavy, swimming, dancing dinosaur with a headache and a sore foot. Shame." And then a little further along, the footprints stopped altogether. Sally and Joe looked around for the hungry, heavy, swimming, dancing dinosaur with a headache and a sore foot, but it was nowhere to be seen. What do you think happened to the dinosaur? They trudged home thinking of all sorts of explanations, but they didn't think it had been hit by a meteorite, or magicked away by a magician, or taken by aliens. "You should never follow a dinosaur," said Mum when they got home, "especially not a hungry one. And it probably wasn't a dinosaur at all," added Dad, "because they're extinct." But Sally and Joe were convinced it really was a dinosaur, and they were going to prove it. "I know," said Sally. "Let's build a trap and catch it." Oops. So they spent all afternoon drawing and planning and building the perfect dinosaur trap. It says this way for cat food, music for dancing, bath for swimming, bat for bump its head. Our dinosaur trap has a deep pit, some cat food, and a rock to trip it. And when they were done, they set the cat food in place and left it overnight. The next morning, Sally and Joe ran out into the garden to check their trap. The bait was gone, and there were footprints leading right to the edge of the pit. But when they looked into the hole, there was no dinosaur. "How did it escape?" wondered Joe. "It's not as though it can fly." "But what if it can?" Sally shouted. "What if it's a hungry, heavy, swimming, dancing dinosaur with a headache and a sore foot and wings?" Both Sally and Joe looked up into the sky, and there, flying above them, was the dinosaur. It looked very hungry indeed. Uh-oh, said Joe. Run, yelled Sally. But in no time, the dinosaur had scooped them up off the ground. So you see, the reason you should never follow a dinosaur is that some dinosaurs are just plain hungry. But luckily for Sally and Joe, once this hungry, heavy, flying dinosaur had soothed its headache and put a plaster on its sore foot, finished its dance, and had a refreshing swim, all it needed was some help with cake baking, because he couldn't reach, his arms were too short, and he needed some help. So Sally and Joe helped the dinosaur to bake and eat lots of delicious cakes. Phew. The end.